Hello, everyone. I'm Casey at Home with Casey. I'm super excited today because I have a guest here with me. This is Elyssia, and she is a nutrition counselor and wellness coach or lifestyle coach. But I'll let you tell about what you do, because our goal today is really to give you some information about health and wellness, but as it relates to nutrition. So, Elyssia, tell us a little bit about what you do.
All right. So as Casey said, my name is Elyssia. I am I call myself a food relationship coach and lifestyle counselor. So what that means is I love deep diving into people's relationship with food, why they're eating, how they're eating, when they're eating, of course, what they're eating, and really just making little tweaks to habits that enable them to make sustainable changes that lead to more vibrant health.
That's awesome.
My little one sentence what I do. I love working with people through the medium of food. So talking about food people, and that inevitably leads into, talking about their whole life, relationships, what they do, and it all blends together, and food kind of works in all of it. So I really just love getting to know people.
That's awesome. Now, food is a big part of our culture. It's how we celebrate. It's how we get together. But as a personal trainer, I've helped people lose weight and get fitter and stronger. And a lot of times, in most times, it's really difficult. It's difficult for people to follow along. So again, why don't diets work?
Yeah.
The burning question.
Diets aren't sustainable. They're just this trend, this fad, this thing that you latch onto to make this change that you want to make. But oftentimes you're doing radical things when you're doing a diet. You're not eating any sugar or no carbs, and you're doing it for, weeks on end. And life happens. Life's happening every day. Difficult things, challenging things are happening daily. And, food is like an essential, it's essential for life, right? And it's happening multiple times a day. We're eating, and we're inevitably going to slip up on those radical changes, So
Right.
diets to me just aren't sustainable. We need to make like small, doable, plausible changes that work for our lifestyle. And we all have different individual lifestyles, and that's how they become lasting habits. So
Yeah.
diets are trends and fads, and we latch onto them, but they don't tend to stick around.
Well, and you touched on something that's really important, because now a lot of people are giving up gluten, or they're giving up certain elements in their diet, like just getting rid of or not eating fruits because of the sugar. And when they do that, they're giving up a lot of nutritional value. So currently, one of the fads is intermittent fasting.
Yep. Everybody's doing it, right?
Yeah, everybody's doing
Talk
it.
to your friends.
How do you deal with your clients that are talking about that? And how do you speak to that with them?
Well, actually, I'll, praise them for trying that, because it's a habit change versus like a takeout of food change. You can take out sugar and, white bread, and you can fix your digestion for a little bit, or you think you have, right? Your inflammation goes down, you're less bloated. There you can see, changes, but they won't stick around, because eventually you're going to eat sugar in some way. You're going to eat, bread in some way. Typically, most people do. But intermittent fasting is actually like more of a lifestyle habit change. So I commend people for trying it, and there's real value to having space between your meals. You give your digestive system time to work. So, and the way I practice, I really first address meal timing and meal scheduling with clients, because that inevitably will lead to optimal digestive function. So intermittent fasting, even though it is a trend and a fad, is like, it's a good entryway into that, not eating or drinking after a certain time is huge. Like, that is a huge change. And I generally work on that change with most clients, because most people are snacking or drinking after, 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And,
guilty.
Yeah, me too. I mean, and it's just not what our body wants to do. It wants to detox at night, not bring more nutrition into process. So Yeah, I
But
think everyone should try it, but it can be very strict, intermittent
yeah.
fasting. And a lot of people can't go till 12 o'clock the next day without any kind of sustenance.
So you work with your clients to help them establish a pattern or an eating schedule that
Hmm.
kind of works with them and
Yep.
their personalities. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
we talked a little bit about that because I just got off of 30 days drinking no alcohol, and I discovered some other things about my habits
Congratulations.
of my eating habits. So I was going to start journaling.
Hmm.
So journaling is one of the things that someone could start doing to sort of get an idea of what they're eating, right? Or
What their mind space is around, like their eating, right? Their eating habits.
yeah.
Yeah. I always have clients do a diet journal, and I think that's pretty standard nutritionist stuff. But I always have them write about, how they feel after a meal. Um, it just helps you notice what's really going on. I feel bloated the next day, or I feel, disgusting or tired, or I feel really bad, about myself that I made this choice, or I feel great that I made this choice. Just actually writing that down on paper and bringing awareness to it for a week or two is very enlightening, and it
Yeah.
can show you where you need to work. And yeah, we were talking about, like, it actually allows you to identify the space that's left, when
Oh,
when you don't eat that ice cream bowl or drink that glass of wine at night, and it sucks. It's like, I want
yeah.
that. But yeah, write it down, identify it, and then you can sit with it and address it. So there's a big psychological component to um, trying different diet challenges. And
So there's a lot more to eating than just eating because it tastes good, but there's a big emotional element to the eating as well, which I really am going to start doing that and try to eat more intentionally. But you, in your practice, you were talking about a 30-day challenge that that was
Mhm.
coming up for you guys or for you created.
Yeah, and I created it just inspired by people, this time of COVID. And I noticed, I don't know if you noticed this, being a fitness instructor, but people seem to be really, like, into maintaining their fitness, with
Yeah.
gyms closed, you can't go to gyms. So it seemed like people really got on board with, like, doing yoga from home and fitness from home and now outside. But I noticed nutrition has kind of gone by the wayside for people. It's almost like this luxury to think about it. And when we're stressed and anxious, as many people are these days, we tend to go for the comfort foods.
Yeah.
And, we give ourselves a pass on nutrition, and that's totally fine. It's okay to medicate with food, it's not
Yes.
going to kill us, right? Not
Yeah.
anyway, not right now, but um yeah, so where was it? So I was inspired by, like, helping people have a motivation kind of coming back into the world after COVID, if maybe we are. Just with
Yeah.
this, yeah, I mean, it's going to be around, but right now I think coming out of stay at home, I thought it might be inspirational to have, like, a 30-day challenge, 4 weeks of challenges. And my offer is, like, checking in once a week about those challenges. What are your successes? What are your challenges? And really trying to make sustainable changes around 4 important areas. Those being
Fantastic.
like what they are.
Yep. Tell us
Yeah.
tell us what they are, because then what we're going to do is, if you want to learn more about it or have Elyssia help you, through these challenges or be a part of the challenge, it would be awesome.
Mhm.
So what were
Yeah.
those 4 elements?
Okay. And then you're handling the fitness part of the challenge, right?
That's right. I got the fitness part of the challenge.
Yeah. So the first one is some kind of sugar reduction. So just addressing what sugar is in your life and doing some kind of challenge around sugar. That doesn't have to be no sugar. We'll see what it is for you. So these are all customized to you individually, where you're at with your nutrition and lifestyle. And then, yeah, intermittent fasting will actually be one. And again, that's more just like your eating schedule and putting some breaks between meals. And third one would be increasing plant-based foods as part of your daily meals. So upping the plants.
Yeah.
And we all know the plants are good. The
Yep.
vegetables are good for us. And the fourth one is mindful eating, like attending to your eating practices. How do you, where do you eat? What's your mindset when you eat? your eating mindset and mentality, like while you're eating, actually directly impacts your digestion of food. So it's super important. And a lot of us eat on the run, in our cars, standing, doing other things. So it's some kind of challenge around that.
Yeah. Well, all those aspects are super important. And I think when you put them all together, it really makes us think differently about food. It's not just, like you said, a means to an end, fueling our body, but also there's so much more to it, so many more layers that we don't think about. So I'm really excited about Elyssia's challenge, because we're going to have her back. And next time we're together, we're going to talk about sugar. And
sugar. Yeah.
Full confession here. I have sugar in my coffee, like real sugar. All right, something I'm dealing with. But
and if you don't want that, you promise you can change it. I promise.
All right, you got it.
I somehow got to black coffee. At one point in my life, I don't drink it black now. I have cream, but at one point I got to black coffee and I got to actually like it. So that was one proof to me that you can. And I actually don't like black coffee, honestly, but at the time I got there and it was like, okay, like I can get to like this because this is something I want for myself. So you can take the sugar out of your coffee. I know you can do it.
So it's really about habits. It's about changing our palate. It's about when we eat, how we eat, what of our emotional state while we're eating. So Elyssia, I'm so excited and I so appreciate your time. This afternoon,
for talking to me, and it was great to talk nutrition with you.
Yes, and we look forward to having you on again, where we're going to talk about sugar. And if anyone can contact Elyssia at ElyssiaMaya.com, I'll put that in the comments as well. And if you want to get on board on that challenge and have her help guide you through that. But we will be seeing more of her. Elyssia, thank you very much. I'm Casey at Home with Casey. You guys have a great day. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Stay well and take care. And we're still recording, and we are